Right. I am going to give you guys the talk now, right? I am going to give you guys the talk on why this patch is actually really good, right? Wow, I did not expect to be saying that today. It feels so damn good to be pleasantly surprised by ArenaNet, actually. That is a very, very hype patch, right? We can, yeah, it is pretty damn cool, actually. It is a very, very cool patch. Now, obviously, you know, was that the biggest patch, like the biggest content drop in the entire universe? Okay? Obviously not, right? But that is not the point with some of this content, guys. This content is such a huge step in the right direction and a complete demonstration that ArenaNet is listening, right, to the player base. That you can't ignore that. You cannot ignore that. The Dragon response missions, almost every issue that I had with them has been fixed. The NPCs didn't stall us in the storyline, okay? The bosses have mechanics and present a decent challenge, right? The environments were really cool as usual. There's some variety in the little, you know, pre-event and little micro-event before the bosses. They added in an escort quest. They added in a clear multiple areas. They had to defend 2 areas at the same time. They had different activities like healing people or killing 5 big guys, right? Or arming civilians, right? All that kind of thing. They brought in new variants of that sort of, you know, that sort of pre-activity for all that. The pre-event automatically skips it, so you don't have to wait 5 minutes there as well. The abilities you get from the factions are actually quite powerful, like Alkal's alchemical acid, right? That's actually, it seems to be very, very strong. The Charzuka, not so sure about the Charzuka, but I know. But look, right? The Dragon response missions, it's got like a one-shot mechanic. Like the CMs, I think the CMs bring new mechanics to the table, actually, that you don't experience on the normal though with that one-shot attack. Maybe with, I don't know, like the I don't know what the difference is on the other ones, but I presume it's similar and there's a different mechanic there. 4 new bosses, right? And especially Ryland, it's got some pretty cool mechanics. So you got like the AoE, you got like the their bullet hell break bar phase going on there, right, as well. You have like a lot of chains that you can like really wallop you with and one-shot you. Even you have like proper phase there where the ads spawn, they teleport you all over the place, right? They can kill you too. What an excellent series of improvements there, right? Is that as good as a raid? Of course not, guys. But in a way, that isn't the point, right? Like the point is that for one of the very, very rare occasions that we get to actually point this out, ArenaNet has taken the idea and they've actually looked at the problems and they actually fixed them as well. Instead of saying, we'll just make a new game mode, they looked at it and they actually improved it. That is amazing. And that thing is, guys, that's not even like the good part of the patch either. Like, we haven't even got to like the amazing part of the patch. Oh, before I move on to that section of the patch, actually, I actually want to talk about the achievement design here. This is a very subtle thing, but it is a very, very good thing. You'll notice that they actually tied in multiple achievements and mechanics to break bars. Yes! Correct! Right? Now, people are going to want to go, okay, we got to break the break bar. I want to get my 2 AP, right? Okay, I've got to get my 2 AP. And you know what, guys? How do you get your 2 AP? You do it by breaking all the bars there, guys. Like, where's the achievement? I'm going to try and find it. I don't think I got it because I think only Plenix got it. Unlucky right there, because I think it was a little bit bugged, but never mind that, guys. If you do basically, if you break every break bar of the Lake Dorate Dragon response mission final boss, you get a mastery point and you get an achievement. Perfect. Awesome. Great achievement design there. Very good. More like that, please. Very nice. Okay? In my opinion, this is actually, in terms of game design, this is such a massive step up from the previous episode that it is almost unrecognizable, right? You could tell me that completely different developers worked on it and like someone took over the company and pushed it in a different direction, right? This is a massive improvement. Now, is it perfect? Is it where I think the game should be? Where I think the game could be? No. I think they could do way more than this, right? I'd love to see the bosses develop even further, right? Like get these guys to full-fledged, like fractal level bosses when you have all the CMs enabled, right? I think that would be great. Like, you know, really push it really, really far. They're actually quite nice and punishing, but the problem with them is that they die very quickly, and when you get good at them, they're gonna die really fast, right? You know, we went in there, it was a clown fiesta. We had people like dying left and right, people going crazy, right? And the thing is, that should be punished, in my opinion. If you wipe, you should have, like, if you die, there's like no recovery, right? You should have to, if you're full dead, you should not be able to respawn, you should not be able to be revived, you should not be able to revive orb. On CM, on normal mode, that is okay. I'm completely fine with that. On CM, no. That should absolutely be shut down. If you lose a player, you need to reset or think about resetting with a /GG. Maybe put /GG in there. I don't think you can GG in the instance, but maybe add GG to the instance and then boom, away you go. I would also maybe say that if you enable CMs, you don't get the morale boost as well. That might make it less soloable, but I guess they can kind of tune it around the morale boost, I guess, on CM. So, no, okay, cancel that. That's fine, guys. That's fine. Yeah, and yes, as Grim has now brought up there, I completely agree. That one-shot AoE, I actually think it's okay that it does 1.5 million damage and like instantly kills you. I think that's a very good mechanic. That is a great mechanic for teaching players to not be bad at the game, right? And saying, yeah, if you get hit by that, you're done. I think that's perfect. No issue there. The issue there is that the telegraph is not quite right, and that's a bug. If that gets fixed tomorrow, like next week, problem solved, right? Simple as that. Like, bugs are not an issue. Like, if the design is compromised, then it's unfixable. If you've got a decent design, like a solid design for your instance content, and you've got a bug, yeah, it happens, right? Fix the bug, and we move on, and we're good to go, right? That's just like the number on the radius of that AoE is too small, or they made the telegraph not render big enough. That's easy. No. They've got to change the number, right? And then that bug is gone. Perfect, right? I think the Ryland fight was actually particularly noticeable for being really good, actually. There's a lot of really well telegraphed attacks there that you can dodge, you can block. The break bar little dance phase as well. Like, you're definitely going to learn about break bars when you do that, because if you don't break the bar, you are going to get smush-bliterated very, very hard, which is great. I guess that's basically all I have to say on regards to the content. Story, again, I think it was well done. They kind of had it intermingled in there. I actually felt they were a little bit, I would say maybe the story integration wasn't amazing. And this is, I guess, a complaint I had. Not exactly a complaint, but a comment I had. I feel like the allied races are a bit random in a way. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, there are dwarves here now, right? We aren't, like, having a chat with Ogden, right? Like, he isn't saying, oh, yeah, you know, we're going to rally the dwarves. The dwarves are coming back to fight Promortars, right? Like, you know, the allied race stuff here that you see in North is a little bit detached from the game. I guess maybe it's to an extent intended, right? It's kind of like you have this war effort going on in the background, right? While you have, you know, while the player is going about their business doing stuff, right? I guess that's maybe the angle they're pushing on there as well. But I would like to see some actual quests out in the world, very much integrated here with all this stuff there. But I don't know, like, that's something that can maybe be improved on in the future. But like, here is the real crux of the matter, guys. This is the real crux of it. ArenaNet has listened. ArenaNet has iterated. In my opinion, this is a massive step in rebuilding trust in ArenaNet from the community, right? Because they are responding to the feedback and they are addressing issues in the game in a pretty fast fashion. Bear in mind, guys, the last release was only, you know, it was only 2 months ago, right? Like, it was, and that was including the Christmas break there as well. So the pace is absolutely there. But on the topic of feedback, I really want to talk about this, right? Because they actually released more than just the content. Guys, they fixed a few things that we talked about earlier, right? Like, they made the health of the champions a bit more standardized. I believe, well, guys, I'm going to tell you, I can confirm that they are all soloable. because I haven't done this personally, but some players on the ArenaNet in the ArenaNet partner program had access to it beforehand, and they were able to solo the DRMs. So if you are interested in solo content, I can confirm that they are soloable even on CM. If that's your thing there as well. So there you have it. Like that is honestly a pretty cool change there as well, because I know there are a lot of players who like the solo content there as well. And, you know, that's what you see here. Like, the baseline, you know, the health is there. And also the damage scaling, right? Like, and the, you know, the healing scaling there as well. So, you know, with the CM, you'll actually be good to go to actually get that done in a solo situation, right? Oh, I didn't see what I didn't actually read what happened with Spirit Shard. So you guys are going to get a live reaction right now. Let's take a look, guys. The Spirit Shard cost reflects the time investment spent engaging in gameplay. Over the years, we've monitored the acquisition of Spirit Shards. We have come to the determination that allowing them to drop from champion loot bags has both devalued them as a currency and also created restrictions on how we use champions in encounters. For these reasons, we have made the decision to remove Spirit Shards from the drop tables of the champion loot bags. They will still be available from every other season source, and we'll be closely monitoring how this change affects the game economy. Remove Spirit Shards as a potential drop from the champion bag loot bags. The item filters in the train post now support attribute filter and concentration expertise. Wait, why? Why does that happen, guys? I don't know. I don't know. We're about to talk about it. Now, the Spirit Shard thing, to be honest, I actually can't comment on that now. I don't know if that's a big deal. I've never struggled for Spirit Shards because I just level up and I play a lot. I don't do a lot of open world farming, so I don't get a lot of Spirit Shards from champion bags, I don't think. But I guess a lot of players do, so that should, I guess, provide value to them. But I mean, I have 20,000, so I mean, I guess I'm in business, guys. I know I'm having a great time. You guys are all screwed, I guess. But why did this happen, guys? Why is it that concentration and expertise are in the TP? Well, let me tell you something, guys. I'm going to, wait, where's the video? I need to go and find the video. Right, Guild Wars 2, yeah, oh my goodness me. Wait, let's have a look at this. Okay, because I actually made a video a while ago about this, and I will now find it. Here we go. I made a video called Gear Accessibility in Guild Wars 2. And how we need better gear accessibility, particular with stats such as concentration and expertise to help players get into raids. For example, if you want to play a condition build in a raid, you need Viper's gear, right? And the only way to get that is either to craft Ascended gear or craft, quite annoyingly, exotic gear. Right? But that is no longer the case because ArenaNet have actually made it so that crafted exotic equipment with the following attribute prefixes is now tradable. Celestial, Commander, Crusader, Grieving, Marauder, Minstrel, Nomad, Seraph, Sinister, Trailblazer, Vigilant, Viper, Wanderer's Us. This is an amazing change. Like, I can't, well, I mean, again, I do want to make this clear, guys. I cannot confirm that it was my video that I made on July 2nd, 2020 that actually inspired them to do this, but I would like to think that it was, right? I mean, you never know, right? You never know. Maybe your boy has got a little, you know, a little bit of pull over there. And they thought it was a good idea or something like that. But seriously, like, I can't believe this. Like, they actually did this. This is such a good change, right? So the big problem, right, was that if you wanted to, say, play Minstrel Firebrand for a support in World vs. World, or you wanted to play Minstrel Scrapper, or you want to play Rev with Marauder gear, or Necro with Marauder gear, or anything with Marauder, right? These kind of like slightly tankier stats for World vs. World, or you want to play Raids and you want to play a Condi class, or you want to play like a Minstrel Chrono Tank or a Minstrel Scourge, right? You know, like all that kind of stuff, right? You couldn't really effectively do that because you know, you had to get Ascended, or you had to go for, like, very, very substandard stats, right? The closest you could get would be, like, Clerics or like, Magi or something like that, right? For these game modes, which is obviously so much inferior compared to the optimal ones, like, which you would normally have to craft. It was a massive barrier to entry. You'd be going in with a significant disadvantage into these game modes, to the point where I imagine some players are like, wait, I have to get Minstrel gear? Fuck that. I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. That's way too much of a time investment. That's way too much effort for me to do that. This is a huge, okay, upgrade in terms of accessibility for raids and World versus World, right? And both of those game modes, in my opinion, and, well, I maybe the opinion of ArenaNet as well, and certainly, like, I'd say the more casual player base, accessibility is a big problem in those game modes. And this, I really want to stress this, guys. And if anyone from ArenaNet ends up seeing this, right, this is a massive improvement and a massive step towards helping new players get into those game modes. Everything that makes it easier and more accessible is going to be great for building those communities and building those populations up. So yeah, this is a really great change. And I think at this point, you know what we need to see, guys, right? You know what we need to see? We need to see, I think, well, we need to see a crafted Harrier set, I guess. Because I don't think you can craft exotic Harriers, right? Because, yeah, there are no crafted exotic weapons or armor with this attribute prefix. Well, here's the thing, right? I think I'd like to see this completed, right? Because grieving isn't, like, required right now, I guess. It's not, like, fully meta right now. However, Harrier is on a lot of stuff there. Mordrum, can you buy it? Can you buy full Harrier armor? You might be able to get armor and weapons, but I know you can't get trinkets, right? So I'd like to see crafted trinkets then, so you can actually get a full Harrier set too. That might be a little bit hard to implement because they have to create new items. Here they just basically, they made them tradable. They changed the flag on them as well. So yeah, I would absolutely like to see that be made more accessible there. I think some of these recipes might require a few tweaks to make them a bit cheaper, right? For example, I think Diviner, they did actually address Diviner here a little bit. For example, here, guys, exquisite serpentite jewels now have a rare drop chance from dragon nodes in Thunderhead Peaks, which, by the way, guys, makes that like a, you know, that's going to make Thunderhead Peaks very lucrative for people to go around there and farm and encourage people to play that map, and, of course, bust the Homans things significantly. So now, basically, the Diviner material is easier. It's going to be hopefully come down in price, reducing the cost of Diviner gear. Again, Diviner gear essential on certain builds, such as Boon Chronomancer and Alacrity Rev, or potentially Boon Herald as well. A very important stat for PvE right now. Again, awesome change there to make those builds easy again. Those are core builds in the meta right now, and as a result of that, you know, obviously you want to be able to get those as easily as you can. They've also reduced the cost of Zealot's gear, because I believe you needed like a watchwork mechanism for Zealot's gear or something like that, and so they've reduced the amount of sprockets there. And this is good because you can't really get sprockets very effectively anymore. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They reduce it because it's a very limited material. Linseed oil coming down again. Again, that's kind of like addressing crafting prices. Particularly, I believe like linseed oil is used for crafting a lot of the HOT stats. You need like linseed soaked inscriptions and stuff like that. So that's coming down there a little bit too. Charge quartz. You don't need as much of that for Selly gear. I mean, hey, did Selly meta coming back in World Bus as well, right? There it is, guys. There it is. Oh, and they made crafting faster as well. Wow. Dude, I have to say, I went straight into playing this content, so I didn't actually see all these changes. And these are super, super cool. They really, really are. Some awesome quality of life stuff and just general accessibility changes there. So yeah, Maguma Lilies are up so you can get your unbelievably annoying Trailblazer gear. No problem. These are some of the points that I brought up in the video. I will encourage you guys to watch the video, by the way, to see just how much I said here actually ended up in the game, by the way, right? Because I actually mentioned that, you know, adjusting the recipes or adjusting drop rates to make stuff cheaper would also be very, very desirable too, to actually do that. Like, you know, to keep it in line with gear, stuff like, you know, stuff like Berserker. Like Berserker gear, for example, is very, very cheap on the trading post, right? So I'd encourage you to go watch that video as well, you know? Definitely leave a like on that one, guys. Subscribe for more. All that kind of stuff there. And they've done the same here with doubloons. Like, doubloons now are going to be a little bit more common there with the gold doubloons. Then they'll drop silver, gold, or platinum, which, by the way, is actually a very intelligent change. I believe this actually might be specifically targeted at bountiful maintenance ore, because basically the best in slot healing utility, like the cog, right, the spanner rather, is bountiful maintenance ore, which is now tradable, and it's going to be cheaper because platinum doubloons are going to be cheaper. Oh, I've just got to just give it a round of applause there, guys. There it is. I've just got to say it. It feels so good. So this is way better than anything else for healing because it gives you a ridiculous healing modifier. Imagine if there was a food that gave you like a 15% damage modifier. That would be ridiculous, right? Okay? Absolutely insane. This is basically that, but with healing. And they actually made all of these tradable. So all like the magnanimous stuff as well, I believe. Well, yeah, magnanimous sharpening stone, magnanimous maintenance oil. So, like, very, very tanky if you're playing, like, a tank crone or something like that. Like, that oil might be very, very valuable to you if you're playing Trailblazers. Magnanimous tuning crystal would also be highly valuable there. Like, these are expensive now, but don't worry, it's because no one's selling them, right? It's the same with the minstrel gear. If we look at minstrel gear here, you'll see that it's very expensive right now, but that's because no one's really selling it, right? The price of that is going to come down, and don't worry, it won't actually be that expensive. If we take a look at freshwater pearls, they are expensive, but that will go down over the time. I think you'll start to see like people start maybe even farming them to craft gear, and then you'll see that price decrease. I would like to see us introduced to more drop tables actually to actually bring that down. It's probably maybe a little bit too much there, but it's not actually that bad. Minstrel gear is very powerful, so I think it's okay if it's a little more expensive than regular gear. However, I definitely would say that I would like to see minstrel stuff come down there a little bit. But yeah, you can now gear your characters so much easier. You're going to have less investment into alt accounts if you don't have infinite ascended gear. You're going to have more people be able to pick up specific classes like Alacrity Rev, support Firebrand, support Chrono, and World vs. World benefits from this more than any game mode because Marauder gear is also sees play there as well on stuff like your Revenants, your Weavers, right? All that kind of thing. So this is a massive accessibility upgrade here for the game, and I do really want to praise Arena here. Well done, Arena. Obviously, pat myself on the back a little bit there for having a suggestion. So good. They put it in the game, okay? Guys, wow. I have a giant, massive intellect, okay? Even ArenaNet listened to me. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. You love to see it. But yeah, I am very impressed. And as a little cherry on the top, they actually increased the drop rates on all the really expensive infusions. So we see Confetti, Chuck, Kanur as well have all gone up and dropped. Now, they didn't say how much, obviously, right? Like they didn't say how much they increased the drop rate by, but I'd be very curious to see how that pans out, and we can keep an eye on the price, because until now, guys, the prices have been prohibitively expensive. If I had to guess, I think they might have put the drop rate such that they're going to try and reduce it to the same price as Aurelium. Wait, how do you spell Aurelium? Here we go. I wonder if we're going to see Chark, Kanur, and other things come to around like the 3, 4, 5k gold mark. Because I think Aurelium will always be cheaper because so many people farm Octovine, so there's also like more chances to drop it, right? So it is like an inherently more common item because you get more shots at it and more people do it as well. But I would not be surprised to actually see Chark, Confetti, and Kanur go below 10k, because until now they are prohibitively expensive for most players. Most players, 10,000 gold is like a dream. That's a fantasy. You aren't getting 10,000 gold, and let alone 20,000 gold. I mean, we've seen Kanur has been sold for 50,000 gold, right? Or something ridiculous, even 60k. These numbers are absurd to most players, and this is something that we actually talked about a lot. The ArenaNet has like these junk drops, like Guild Wars 2 has like these junk drops, like blues, greens, like rares, like ectos, blah, junk. Who cares, right? And then you have these absurdly rare items that you'll never get. But now, maybe not. Now you have these kind of mid-tier items that are hovering, maybe a little, maybe twice as expensive as a legendary or close to a legendary in value. But now you can drop that in the open world. Imagine like thinking that I'm going to do chat Garen every day because I might drop a legendary weapon or like something that has the same value as a legendary. This is great for player engagement. This is great for aspiring players to actually grind stuff out as well, because now it seems actually feasible to do it instead of like an impossible fiction that they'll never actually reach, right? I've got to say, this is great, a great improvement from the reward design perspective of ArenaNet, from the accessibility perspective of ArenaNet, from the iteration on design we saw in the content there, from ArenaNet there as well. I have to say, you can say, oh wow, imagine fixing problems in your games. That is not the point, guys. Like, this is one of the things that ArenaNet has been roasted, okay? Roasted for again and again and again and again. Like, ArenaNet doesn't iterate. ArenaNet doesn't listen to the community. ArenaNet doesn't care about our feedback, right? This is potentially a huge turning point. Now, right, ArenaNet, I'm talking to you right now. If you make me like a dickhead in 2 months, and this is like a one-off, right? Then I'll get you, right? Yeah, I'm gonna come over there, United States, and like, I'm gonna look at you very angrily, right? Like, I'll be outside your office, right? You'll see me there in my dressing gown and pink socks on right now, by the way, guys, right? I'm not gonna be happy. I'm gonna be, there's gonna be mean gestures in your general direction. It's gonna be intense. It is. It'll be a stern thing. So don't do that. Keep it up. Keep doing it, right? This is exactly what we need to see, okay, in your development practices and in the direction of the game. If this keeps it up, then we are on a great ramp to the expansion in terms of community relations, community management, and community respect and trust in ArenaNet. Now, this is good, but like I said, guys, we need to see more, right? This is the first step in rebuilding trust in the company, right? Some people will probably still go, wow, you know, fuck ArenaNet even after this patch. But in my opinion, this is a huge, a massively significant change in direction that I find to be very promising, and I am very hopeful. I was dreading this patch, guys, right? I was in fear. I was like, everyone's going to hate it. ArenaNet's going to get roasted. People are going to get flamed. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be like, right? But actually, I think that, yeah, this could be better, right? It absolutely could. And I want to see it better, right? But it is getting there. We've seen some really, really good things in this patch today. Good boss fights, solid engagement. Rewards could maybe do a little bit of work there, but honestly, I'd have to like grind them out and really grind a few DRMs. And honestly, maybe I actually feel inclined to do that. Maybe I actually will do Dragon Response missions every day for a while now, because I am impressed with those. Those are engaging. The bosses are fun. They have mechanics, and I think they're actually a really good entry point now into some engaging, challenging content for new players with those CMs. That is a great place to start. Just a few basic mechanics that are punishing. You have to do them. You can't get around them. It has break bars. It has go in the green circle. It has don't stand in front of the boss. It has movement, like the bosses are dynamic. Wow. Very impressed. Very, very good work, ArenaNet. Awesome stuff just across the board here. Absolutely knocked this one out of the park, I have to say, right? If we have a few more of these, we are absolutely in business for that expansion. And if this is what the expansion is going to be like, then honestly, this is going to be a grand slam home run dunk, as the kids might say, right? For ArenaNet. So, no pressure. Don't fuck it up. Climactic finale might actually end up not being an understatement, right? As a lot of people were probably expecting, right? You know, maybe the title is actually the correct length, right? The Icebrood Saga Episode 5 Champions Chapter 2 Power, right? It's long, it's girthy, but maybe it actually deserves that moniker, right? It might actually be worthy of that. So yeah, there it is, guys. I'll end this kind of overview here before we have a bit of a discussion later on in the comments if you're on YouTube, or in Twitch chat if you're in Twitch chat, with this, guys. The redemption arc is back on the menu, boys. It looked grim with the first chapter there, guys, with those DRMs, right? Okay, look, I'm gonna quote Mela here, guys. Mela said, wait, I can't quote Mela, actually. Like, Mela said it was one of the worst patches of all time, right? And I think the community tended to agree with that. They were definitely going in that direction. That's paraphrasing there, to be clear, guys. There was some strong language used, but this is honestly one of the better patches in terms of overall quality of content and broad features, actually, like broad targeting with what they actually decide to add to the game here. This is a very, very good update. And yeah, the redemption arc, guys, is back. Let's go. 2021 is the year of Guild Wars 2. Clip it and ship it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm saying it, guys. 2021 is the year of Guild Wars 2. The curse is there. Booba in the chat.